Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be having a look at the Pioneer Scouts, the locations relating to them, and the upcoming DLC that will be coming in on the Update 9, including all of the goodies that are coming with that, like the backpacks and extended carry weight, finally. So starting off with, I'm here at Camp Adams. We can have a look around. This is one of their campgrounds around Appalachia. It's one of 4 locations that are relating to the Pioneer Scouts. You can see some of the Pioneer Scouts are actually still here. They never managed to leave Camp Adams, unlike some of the other ones. We can see they were just camping around here. We can find some recipes by here and a gutted Brahmin. Over here by a giant stuffed bear we have one of their cabins, which usually has like a steamer trunk in that has some randomized loot in there. We have 10 ways to be a safe archer. This is dotted around all over their camps. A lot of their stuff was about survival of the fittest, how to live off the land, that kind of thing. So they were trained in different activities like archery and survival, meat preparation, that kind of thing. For example, meal prep note here. Just going on about sanitary conditions, how to clean your pots and pans, how to basically prepare food sanitarily out in the wild, how to avoid bacteria, something we could have done with when we came out of the vault, really, so we don't end up with all those constant diseases we find. He also goes on about how, say for example, how to get the right kind of nutrient distribution. The Pioneer Scouts really went in depth on this stuff, on how to survive in the wild. We can see it's going on about the different fats and protein. Avoid prepackaged meals, saying not to use MREs, and to make their own meals from base sources. And it goes on about scavenging for things that are edible in the environment as well, so like mushrooms, that kind of thing. But looking around, we can have a look at the other huts and the kind of disarray this place has been left in. Now, there aren't any other notes or any other lore at this location other than just the environment itself. We can see they had a big locker room here. Not much in it really. Like I say, just some randomized loot. Not much to take back from it. But if we do head over, we can see that they were all about exploring the unknown. We've got a bathroom here, only 2 showers, but I guess if you're out doing survival, you got to learn how to wash yourself in streams and lakes and the such. Now you see they've got a couple of buildings, a couple of towers around as well, so they can keep an eye out. Probably for things like forest fires and such, or just learn how to keep a lookout when they're trying to survive out in the wild, that kind of thing. Now, jumping over to Camp Lewis, the Pioneer Scout campground, we can have a look around here. We are going to be messaged immediately by the Grafton Mayor because it's by the lake that he always wants cleaning, or the lake that always has the Mirelurks breeding in it. So most of the times I've come here, he has messaged me immediately. So at the minute it's this one with suitors. But this is the main campground for the Pioneer Scouts. Camp Adams was kind of a one of the places they go to. But we can have a look. This is their main dining hall. It looks like to be here. This is where all the kids, and well, the teachers and such, are just sat around while they're making food. I'm assuming they would have also helped out with the cooking as well, because, I mean, what's the point in them learning how to prepare food and everything if they're not actually going to put it into practice? So I assume they would have. Now this place is usually infested with some kind of bugs. As you can hear upstairs, we've just got a black bloatfly. It is in a low level area though, so no real risk of being hurt by them unless you've only just come out of the vault. And we do have another scout book memo here, and it just goes about the principles of the Pioneer Scouts, and of how about it's all about the spirit of exploration that was used during the founding and expansion of the United States. And there were two men they mainly look forward to. So it's Thomas Jefferson and Meriwether Lewis. They're their main people they look towards. And that's mainly it. It's just talking about the kind of thing they're going towards, how they're trying to go ever upwards. Which, funnily enough, is probably going to be the new DLC. We can then actually find in one of the abandoned, like, broke down huts by the lake, we have this room with all the bunk beds and stuff in it. Now, this is before I had the marsupial on, I believe. But I was looking around and it looked like I could get up there, so I thought I'd just give it a try. And up here, it did not like me being up here, you can tell from the graphical glitches. But we have a safe that requires a key. Now, whether this is going to be important to the new DLC, I couldn't tell you. Probably, hopefully will be, because it's been doing my nutting since I found it. I can't find any keys or anything relating to it. Just seems to be there, and I don't like that being there. Now, if we hop over to the next location, the third location, there wasn't much left at the other location. But here at the Dolly Sods camp, we can find a terminal that talks about the Pioneer Scouts. So what looks like happened was some of them were out, say, like camping at the Camp Adams and everything. But some of them had come here just before the bombs dropped for kind of like a like an away trip. And they were stuck here when the bombs dropped. Kind of, they couldn't go back to their families. They might not even have families anymore. But we'll have a look at the terminal. It's talking about two rangers who are out here at Dolly Sods. And they've basically been looking out for idiots who are hunting out a season. Trying to get more funds for signs. You know, the regular stuff. Basically, more campers showing up. So this ranger and Ranger Barnes been looking out. Some kids and stuff get drunk and burn down stuff. They're just basically trying to stop them burning down the entire forest. Apparently Barnes is kind of a hard ass. Pioneer Scouts contacted them about holding the jamboree there, which is the first notice we find that they're going to be coming to this location. But again, Ranger Barnes is going on about how much damage the children would cause. And basically he doesn't like visitors to his perfect forest, is that essentially. And then there's been a lightning storm and a forest fire, and Ranger Barnes actually went in and saved everyone. And he's actually a good guy, he's just a hard ass on everyone. And the Pioneer Scouts have been arriving to set up for their jamboree. They've been very respectful of the campgrounds and they haven't had a single issue. They've decided to take everything in stride and lend the Scouts a hand. Just trying to help them set it up and everything. And this is where the Scouts were when the bombs dropped. And next we do have another notice, like I said here, over at the Burrows, the latest dungeon Bethesda called it. We do have reference to the fact that these guys potentially were Pioneer Scouts, which would make sense. Pioneer Scouts got stuck at Dolly Sods due to the bombs dropping. And now they basically turned raider, went under the ground in the Burrows, took over the Burrows for themselves, and now they own this place. So it does make sense that they kind of evolved to that point, essentially. They had all these survival skills and everything. They've been taught how to survive in the wild, and well, they used all of that experience so they could take over this place. And they were led by someone, one of the boys whose dad used to work down in these sewers, so they did have a good way of doing that, really. He knew his way around, he knew about the security systems. Perfect way for them to go down there. Just going through the notes on here, but there you can see there's no more happy-go-lucky community shares everything, and no more Pioneer Scout helping your fellow man for no damn reason nonsense. So these Burrow boys did come from the Pioneer Scouts. I'm interested to see how that relates going forwards. So we have some information on the new DLC, and some of it has been data mined as well. So the kids and everything got replaced, well, like the leaders and everything, got replaced by robots. The kids, like, taught by robots and everything towards the end. They were bringing in more robots just to help them due to an accident with a Yao Guai. Oh, well, a giant bear at that point, not Yao Guai yet. And because of that, they brought in more robots. So it's going to be, well, it had to be robots we were dealing with anyway. There's not going to be any NPCs with this. But we're going to be starting out as a tadpole rank. Basically, after the bombs dropped, there haven't been enough children wanting to become Pioneer Scouts anymore. So they're opening it up to every age group. So we can join. We can become a Pioneer Scout now. Like I said, we're going to be starting out as a tadpole. We're going to be going up through the ranks by earning our different badges. Just for things like, well, all the regular survival things, I'm assuming. We're going to be like swimming. Probably some archery with how important it seems to be with all the signs everywhere. And then we're going to go up the ranks, and once we get to the higher ranks, we'll get harder badges to get, and we'll also unlock our backpack, which will have several modifications. We'll be able to modify it for even more storage room, or we could modify it for armor protection, or they have also mentioned that we could also put a fridge in there. Now, the armor protection fridge will take up some of the carry weight, but like I said, they'll give you special perks, so more damage reduction, and your food will rot slower, which could be very important to some people. Myself, I'm going to need more storage room. I always need more storage room. I am a hoarder. I have a problem. Help. That's everything. Thanks for watching. If you did enjoy this, don't forget to like and subscribe.